Now originally when I pinned this out, I just plugged them on and I thought, oh, there's 63 GPIO, I can just use 63 of those, right? Well, the pick and place machine actually has a 5-volt output that's normally high, and that's pulled low to trigger the advance for the feeder for 20 milliseconds. Well, after I started hooking it up and had a whole bunch of time spent on, pre-pinning it originally, that was all nice and neat. It wasn't skipped lanes or anything like it is now. Jim pointed out that a lot of the pins are not 5-volt tolerant, and I had completely forgot about that. So that is something I'd like to bring up to the users of the board. There's, it's online, it's better, but you can kind of see what the X is. Some of them aren't. Some of them are assigned certain things, you don't want to use them, so I actually went through and found all the ones I needed, and I'm actually going to be using the Gadgeteer C through the Gadgeteer I believe, which would be all the way down to the bottom. So I'm going to have all these full up to here using this right now, and that'll include the UART, and then there's also a bunch of spare pins, like I said, the ADC and such. I didn't want to tie the 5-volt to those. Later on I'll have some level shifter boards that will solve this problem, or, well, it's not really a problem. It's only if you're trying to put 5-volt in on a signal on the pins, there's a problem with it. So yeah, and it's only certain pins. This is all documented on the wiki. I just thought I'd point it out because it's something I overlooked myself when I was doing this. Now, using this board might seem like a bit of a waste for what I'm doing, but it'll be nice because this requires 30 volts, so the Smoothieboard can take 30 volts in. That'll give me my 5-volt signal. That'll give me all my stuff. It'll boot up on its own. It won't be connected to USB necessarily unless I'm accessing it. So it's just going to be kind of standalone, but it'll leave me availability to do later expansions because, I mean, technically this pick and place can have a conveyor and a bunch of other stuff. So, I mean, why not? I'm sure I could figure out a way to tie it in. So that's a possibility. And also, shaker mechanisms and things for some of the other feeders. There's quite a few for the tube feeders and such. So I have some plans for later, but for now, I'm just going to be using a ton of the GPIO to get through this header here and get out to the parallel port. But basically, yeah, this will give me availability to add 30 more lanes, which is 10 more feeders, and that's for about $1,500 total invested, as opposed to spending $30,000 or $32,000, whatever Manncorp wanted for the feeders. So, all right, I hope everybody liked what we went through here. Just a quick discussion, and I'll also post my configs and such in the link so that people can view, because I'm using a new module called in the switch module called Button Box that Jim created to do this, which actually does some neat little things. It can do press and unpress commands. You can send G-code on those. You can send console commands. You can do a whole bunch of different things with the buttons, jogs and such, but also it's very nice because you can actually you can echo commands now out any specific UART. You can steer them essentially. So now you can create a switch module G-code command and steer it out of a UART if needed, like I'm going to be doing for this. So more to come. Thanks.